So we're now going to go to the assassination of Ali radiallahu anhu. And how it all began is that there were three of the Khawarij and discussing the affairs of the Ummah. One of them said, all of the problems we have today are because of Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. The other said, all of the problems we have today are because of Ali radiallahu anhu. And the third one said, Amr ibn al-As is not far from those two either. So they decided right then and there and to get rid of these three. And so they agreed to kill all three of them at the same time. Of course, all three were in different areas. But they agreed that after Fajr prayer on the 17th of Ramadan, they would kill them. So all of them left to these different cities. A man by the name of Al-Burq, this is one of them, Al-Burq ibn Abdullah al-Tamimi, he goes to Asham to kill Muawiyah. And he prays Fajr behind him. And as Muawiyah left the masjid after the salah, he lifted his sword to strike Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. Muawiyah noticed that. He caught the sword going up and he jumped out of the way. So he got cut but didn't kill him. But the sword was poisoned. And so they brought him a doctor. And the doctor tells him that I have two remedies for you. One of them is burning the flesh with fire. And the other is a medicine. If I give it to you, you will become sterile. You'll never have children after that. He said, as for the fire, I have no patience for fire. Give me the medicine. And he took it, and subhanAllah, it said that he never ever had children after that. Then the other man, the man goes to Amr ibn al-As. The second man goes to kill Amr ibn al-As. And he prays in the masjid in Fajr behind Amr ibn al-As. And after the salah, he jumped and started to stab him. And he killed him and said, Allahu Akbar. And then he discovers that Amr ibn al-As, Qaddar Allah, he was sick that day, and he sent Kharija ibn Hudhafa as-Sahmi in his place. So he actually killed the wrong man. The man who went to Ali radiallahu anhu, his name was Abdul Rahman ibn Muljim. And this man, he came to Al-Kufa where Ali radiallahu anhu was. And he found Ali radiallahu anhu coming into the masjid, calling the people for salah. Ayyuhan nas, as-salah, 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 as-salah. So Ibn Muljim then, this is before the salah, Ibn Muljim takes his weapon and he attacks Ali, saying, Al-hukm lillah. He says, the judgment is to Allah, not to you, O Ali, nor to your companions. And he struck with the sword, he struck Ali radiallahu anhu in his forehead. And it was a very hard hit, and it was a huge wound, and the sword was poisoned as well. And imagine this great companion, and this man thinks that this is a good thing he's doing. Because they were Khawarij, this is how they operated. So now no one is to blame us for the death of Ali radiallahu anhu. Just like they try to blame us for the death of Al-Hussein. Part of our deen is to love them and the family of the Prophet ﷺ. So we don't accept any blame here. This man is from the Khawarij, attacks this great companion, this great Khalifa Ali radiallahu anhu. He strikes him in his forehead with a poisoned sword, but Ali radiallahu anhu doesn't die immediately. He stays alive for 3 days. Don't let him get away. So they caught the man. And so then he commands Ju'd ibn Hubayra to lead the salah, lead the people in prayer. And he tells his sons and he tells the people, a soul for a soul. If I die, kill him as he killed me. And then he starts to give advice to his children. So he tells them, O sons of Abdul Muttalib, do not shed blood, saying Amir al-Mu'mineen has been killed. Verily none should be killed except my killer. He learned from the experience of Uthman radiallahu anhu. And then he tells Al-Hasan, he says, listen, Ya Hasan, if I die, whoever struck me this blow, then it's a blow for a blow. Do not disfigure the dead body. So then a man by the name of Jundub ibn Abdullah, he enters and he says, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, if we lose you, and I hope we don't, should we pledge to Al-Hasan? And Ali radiallahu anhu says, I do not order you, nor do I prevent you. And you know better. So then he calls Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein and he starts to give them very beautiful advice. These are now his parting words. So he tells them, I advise you with the taqwa of Allah. And do not desire the dunya, even if it calls you to it. And do not cry over something that gets away from you. And speak the truth. And have mercy on the orphan. Then he turns to his other son, Muhammad ibn Hanafiya. And he tells him, have you learned what I advise your brothers with? He says, yes, it applies to you as well. And then he tells him, I advise you with the same. And I advise you to have respect for your brothers, because of the great rights that they have upon you. And do not undertake any affair without them. Then he turns to Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein. He says, I advise you to take care of him, for he is your brother and the son of your father, and you know that your father used to love him. Then he tells Al-Hasan, he tells him, O son, I advise you with the taqwa of Allah and establishing salah and paying the zakah in its place and perfecting the wudu, for there is no salah except with tahara. And I advise you to forgive others and to control your temper, and clemency with the ignorant, and understanding of the religion, and being conclusive in affairs, meaning don't rush to make decisions, and being close to the Quran, and being good to your neighbor, and commanding that which is good and forbidding that which is evil, and abstaining from the haram. And he keeps on advising them and advising them until he passed away, radiallahu anhu. After his death, he was washed by sons Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein, and Abdullah, the son of Ja'far, the son of Abu Talib, so the brother of Ali. And Al-Hasan led the prayers, and Ali radiallahu anh had remained alive all of Friday, all of Saturday, and all of Sunday, except he dies Sunday night, and he's buried in the city of Al-Kufa, and he died at the age of 63. His reign was for 4 years and 9 months. His reign was at a very, very difficult time. There were so many people who kept disobeying him. Sallallahu wa barak ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullah.